Howdy, partners, cowboys and cowgirls. Welcome to Backyard Cooking with Rog E. We apologize for being a little bit late today. We thought we would get on around 5 o'clock, but things didn't turn out the way we wanted to at first. But, Flip Wilson used to say, what you see is what you get. So we had to make do, make some arrangements. But we are glad that you are able to join with us today. A beautiful hot day in Jackson, Tennessee. We're going to do a presentation tonight, or this evening, titled Kabobs and Cowboys. And no, folks, I'm not talking about the NFL Dallas Cowboys. Never have, never will. Hey, Janice, thanks for joining us. Sorry I'm so late here. But I think we've got a great show here. I hope that you can hear the music in the background there. Riders in the Sky, Ghost Riders in the Sky, to kick off our show. And I've had several since our last video, or since our first video that we came out with. I had several people ask me when the second show was going to happen. Well, let me take that back. I've had 3 or 4 people that follow me on Facebook ask me when the next show was going to be. To me, that's several. 3 or 4 is several in my book. So we really want to focus today on the Kabobs and Cowboys. You know, we're talking about real roping, riding trails, bareback riding, horse riding, everything kind of cowboy. And basically we're focusing on the cowboy cook. But today, you know, this being the start of Memorial Weekend, we definitely thought that having a show this weekend to recognize those that have served, those that are still serving, you know, even our frontline people that are serving now are just the ones that maybe didn't make it home. This is a tribute to you on the Memorial Day weekend, and hopefully we can put together a good show. And we've got some ideas that we want to run through today. If you noticed in the opening, we talked about doing cowboy cooking, and that's another thing that I haven't done in quite some time, and that's a kind of a trip down Memorial Lane for me as well, is doing Dutch oven cooking, cowboy style. Now, this morning I made a cowboy salad, and I know you can probably Google and find a recipe for cowboy salad, but it had, you know, just the romaine hearts and some baby spinach, had some bell peppers and tomatoes and black beans, whole kernel corn, all drained, cheddar cheese. But the kicker to the whole thing is the homemade barbecue dressing. That actually, let me step away for just a second here. Maybe move that over. The homemade dressing that went with that salad. And folks, I'm here to tell you that's some good stuff. I could actually, if I could figure out how to get it poured up, I could probably drink that dressing just out of a cup. And it is easy to make. It's 1 cup of mayonnaise, a half a cup of your favorite barbecue sauce, 1/4 a cup of spicy brown mustard, and 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce and 2 teaspoons of lime juice. And you whip that all up, and once your salad gets ready, just pour that in, mix it all up. It's and a little bit of jalapeno pepper and cilantro. I'm sorry, not in the dressing, in the salad itself. But we'll go into more detail on that as we get to that point. I've tried to I've got so much information that I really want to talk to you about. You know, last week or last time we come together, hey Roy, thanks for joining. Sorry that we got a little bit later start, but we're going to go on anyway. Like I say, Flip Wilson said once before, what you see is what you get. And so we're going live with this cooking. Kabobs and Cowboys, second episode of Backyard Cooking with Rog E. We do appreciate everybody for joining us. But, you know, again, we're still in that battle. The ones that are fighting COVID-19. I've got a classmate that has been in the hospital. And today is our 40th anniversary for our high school graduation. But he's been in a hospital in Kentucky, and he's been battling the COVID virus, and I think this is day 44, 45, something like that. His sister keeps us updated as best as she can, and you know what? The last update that we got was a great update for Terry, my friend Terry. They came back with the second negative test. They're reducing the size of his trach that they had to install. He's starting to breathe on his own. He's starting to be able to talk. You know what? God is good, and he's still there working miracles, and we thank him for answering prayers. We put Terry on several prayer lists, and you know, he's coming through for us again like he's always has. But so that's great. We're happy for Terry and his wife and family. But you know, talking about the Cowboys, and again, I'm not talking about the Dallas Cowboys because that's not me. But we're going to do a little bit of cowboy cooking today, folks, in this pot right here. And if you'll notice, let me back up just a minute. If you notice, I got two different type cooking setups here. And the cowboy, you know, they mostly probably cooked in the scenario here with the wood burning fire, and in this pot here, ladies and gentlemen, I've got baked beans. Oh my word! I'll try to give you a little bit of the recipe here in a minute, but I'm so excited about these baked beans. I'm excited about my cowboy salad as well that I talked to you about, but baked beans, oh my. And in this pot over here, folks, I don't know if you can even think about how to make peach cobbler using charcoal, but here it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to happen. Hey, Coach Sanders, thanks for joining us. It's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. And then we're going to put over here, we're going to put some Kabobs on here in a minute and get everything cooking up, get it on time. And hey, Jamie, hey, Patrick, appreciate Pat. I appreciate you guys watching us. Again, we're talking about, you know, and again, last week, after our show was over with, I asked myself, how could I make it better? How can I do better? What can I do to make our program better? And you know what? It come to me, there's a button at the end of this thing that will flip the camera from where it is now to now. Last time I was using a button and I was trying to hold my phone sideways and upside down and trying to get you a picture of the food. There's a button down here that just switches it back and forth. That's amazing. Technology, I love technology. Okay? I love technology. But we're going to get this started. But what we're focusing on today is, you know, the cowboy cook. He's probably got, or had, one of the toughest jobs around as a cowboy. And that's simply because, you know, he was probably the original meal planner, you know, back in the day, because we're not talking about him preparing like Gilligan and Skipper did for a 3-hour tour. You know, they prepared for a 3-hour tour, And Thurston Howell, he paid his big money for the VIP room, and he didn't even get a meal for a 3-hour tour. But this cowboy cook, he's got to prepare meals for cowboys for 7 to 10 days out in the long prairie, going through the valleys and over the hills and mountains. Man, can you imagine? Tribute to our cook. He had a special job. He would work late hours. Cowboys would ride late, rope late, get those cattle in place. And when they came to camp was set up. The cookie was there. He was setting camp up. He had them a hot meal. Usually the meals for cowboys were included something hot like beans or stew or something like that. But also they used to cook bread and dessert, just something to fill them up, keep them warm. But that cowboy cookie, that dude had to stay up late, had to clean up camp, had to fix everything, prepare the meals, prepare the biscuits or whatever it was he was preparing. And he had to be up the next morning before the cowboys got up, to keep the fire going, to put the coffee on, to get a cinnamon roll or whatever ready for them, get them a biscuit with some gravy. So the cowboy cookie, he had an awesome job. And today we just want to kind of go back down and do some things. I enjoy cowboy cooking. I'm not a cowboy by any way. This is the best thing I've got as a cowboy hat, thanks to Jackson Journals. Roy, I sure do need you here as a director. The music and the trying to cook and the talk and keep up. I miss you, Roy. Sorry about me. But anyway, I've got 2 different things going on. I've got peach cobbler. Folks, somebody out there say peach cobbler. Peach cobbler. Homemade fresh peach. And you know what? I'm not 100% sure, but I think there's some vanilla ice cream in the ice box. Oh my word. I can't wait, folks. I can't wait. It's going to be a good show. I'm promising you. It's going to be a good show. And then in the other one, with the live fire cooking over, and it ain't going to take long for that, ladies and gentlemen, we got some Rog E style baked beans. Somebody say baked beans. Oh my word. Yes, sir. Now, what I do, and I got asked today, a buddy of mine asked me if I was going to share some of my recipes. I don't mind you having my recipe because you know what? That just thrills me that you want to try to cook my what I cook, because most time I get a recipe, I see a recipe, I'll tweak it to what I like or what I need, and then I'll let it go from there. But yeah, I gave you the garden salad or the cowboy salad and the dressing, but my baked beans, folks, and you make your baked beans the way you want to, the way that feels good to you. You just make them the way you want to. And, if you get a chance, hey, thank you, Janice. Peach cobbler, she said. Thank you, Janice. I love you. Man, my folks, my kin folks and my friends, they support me in this. And I don't even know why, because I'm just having fun, trying to do some things. And I just love doing this. But anyway, so she said peach cobbler. Where were we here? Let me say. But yeah, folks, we're going to get off into these baked beans. What I did is I put 2 cans of pork and beans. And I drained the juice because I don't like my beans real soupy. I like them to kind of bake and get all delicious and everything. So I had 2 cans of pork and beans, and I added a 3rd can of dark red kidney beans, drained, of course. Just to kind of give that a little extra something. And so within that, I put bell pepper, onions, Worcestershire sauce, and folks, I'm not one that does a lot of measuring. I just shake, do whatever, shake, rattle, and roll to the point that I think it looks good, and go from there. But you can dabble with the recipe. You can, and then I put a little bit of water just to kind of soften everything up. But the key ingredient, ladies and of course, I started with bacon. You can't have baked beans without bacon, ladies and gentlemen. But you put that bacon in there, all the rest of that goodness in there, and then the key ingredient that I use, and that's and I put a half a cup of barbecue sauce, and I use Sweet Baby Ray's. You can use any flavor, kind of barbecue sauce, but I like Sweet Baby Ray, so I put a half a cup in there with that. But to balance out, and my brown sugar, I forgot my brown sugar. That's why I don't like doing recipes, because I forget everything. But to balance all that sweetness out from Sweet Baby Ray's and from the brown sugar and everything, the key ingredient that I use is mustard. Yes, just yellow mustard, ladies and gentlemen. Put that in there and mix that up. Oh my word. Now, what I like meat in my baked beans, and a lot of people put pulled pork in their baked beans. I have no problem with that. I love that too. But me personally, I like ground beef, baby. Ground beef. So what I did over here on the griddle, and before we get to the Kabobs, I browned up about a pound of ground beef. So I'm going to add that to my baked beans. When I get an opportunity here, I'm going to play some more music right here, and hopefully you can hear it. But one thing that I got to remind you, if you're doing Dutch oven cooking, about every 15 or 20 minutes, you've got to rotate those pots so that you don't create a hot spot. So you rotate the whole pot a half a turn to the left or right, whichever, and then you rotate the top, the lid, a half a turn in the opposite direction. So if you'll give me just a second, and I'm not sure what song it is I'm supposed to play, that's why I need Roy here to do what he is, but we're going to put this one in on Home on the Range, and give me just a second to get this meat added to the beans, and rotate my pots, and I'll be right back. Hopefully you can hear this music. We can give you an inside look. Here's our beans as they're starting to burble up a little bit. They're about to get right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, back to the music. I'll be right back. All right, folks. Sorry about that. I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Paula. I'm glad you're here. While I was rotating that peach cobbler, oh my word, the aroma already, ladies and gentlemen. They say when you can start smelling it, that it don't like much. And folks, what I did is I took the heat off the top, because let me tell you, folks, I'm gonna try to open this up just a little bit so you can get a good view of this peach cobbler. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh-wee! I'm just here to tell you, folks, things about to get righteous around here. We're about to get some baked beans. You know, folks, I can't hardly hold my excitement here. I was telling you about the opportunity that I had this morning to make that salad, the cowboy salad. And of course, I had to take a bite. I don't want to serve something that's bad, So I had to pre-taste it, kind of, just so that make sure that it was okay, And so I'm excited about that. But them baked beans. Somebody say baked beans one more time for me. Baked beans. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. Here we go. Can you hear that? Oh yeah. Hanging baked beans up a little bit higher now because they're starting to bubble up a little bit. Oh. But between the cowboy salad and them Chef Boy Rog E, Cookie Rog E, whatever you want to call it, Rog E baked beans, and that peach cobbler, oh man, I can't wait. It almost makes you want to do the two-step boogaloo, baby. Key the music, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, join me here now. All right, I got you. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Let me catch my breath here a minute. Y'all folks didn't know Chef Boy Rog E could actually move like that, did you? But the way I see it, ladies and gentlemen, if Kevin Bacon can teach Country Boy Willard to dance on Footloose, then Chef Boy Rog E can, well, I'm just going to leave it right there for a minute and let you just figure that out. Oh, okay. I see how you want to do me. The good, the bad, the ugly. I got you. Thank you, Maestro. I appreciate you. All right. Well, let me tell you, the good part is what we got going on over here in these pots, ladies and gentlemen. And baked beans. Oh, that's the good part. That apple peach cobbler. Oh my goodness, that's good part as well. The ugly, of course, was, well, the bad. Let's go with the bad. Good, bad, and ugly. That's why I'm in that sequence. The bad was the idea of me trying to do the two-step boogie-loo. Somebody say boogie-loo. Oh, well, maybe you need to say unbelievable. Somebody say unbelievable for me. Chef Boy Rog E out there doing the two-step boogie-loo. And then the ugly part of it was me actually doing the two-step boogie-loo. So I understand where the maestro was coming with good, bad, and ugly. I ain't mad at you. All right, so where am I? Where were we here? Oh, again, ladies and gentlemen, we are tribute today. We're doing some Kabobs and cowboy cooking. And I don't know if I've showed this enough. I love I love cooking this way. I think the Cowboy cookie probably cooked more this way than that, but my peach cobbler over there, my baked beans right here. So we're gonna try to get back on target and back in the hanging back in the saddle. That's what we're trying to do. We're gonna try to get back in the saddle right here. Give me just a second. I'll be right back. Here, ladies and gentlemen, the Kabobs are about to go on the grill. You know, and again, going back to the Cowboy cook, ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine planning on going across 10, 14 miles a day of the high plains? And, you know, it's not like you were able to go to Costco or to Target or Kroger's or Walmart. There's nothing out there. You know, there's not even fences out there. You know? They wasn't fenced in. They wasn't fenced in at all. But that Cowboy cook, he had to prepare everything. He had bags of flour, bags of coffee, bags of beans. He had cool water. He had all of his cooking stuff, probably his wood that he had to cook with, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like we have it nowadays, but it's just amazing. You know, when I was growing up as a kid, we all had our Halloween costumes and wanted to be a cowboy, but I never really thought about it. Nobody ever talks about the job of a cowboy cook and what he has to do. But that fella, he's got one of the hardest jobs there is. And we're paying tribute to him. And I just respect him. I respect the Cowboys for doing what they did as well. But so right now that we got everything over there cooking, and folks, it won't be long, this stuff will be ready to go. We're going to go ahead and put our Kabobs on the grill. First, we're going to put a little bit of EVOO on the grill just to kind of get everything ready for us. Now, it's been on for a while here, but I turned it down real low because I didn't want it to get scorching hot before we got everything on. So I just put a little bit of EVOO on, and now I'm going to start to put these Kabobs on, and hopefully we can get those to turn out right. Now, what I did with the Kabobs, and again, you build your Kabob the way that you like. Some people like squash and different things on there, but now that I got them on the grill, I'm going to hit this button right here that just turns everything on. Look at them, ladies and gentlemen. The Kabobs have hit the heat. And on this one right here, we got some smoked sausage and some broccoli and bell peppers and onions. We got a couple of just veggie Kabobs with some potatoes and broccoli and cauliflower. And then we got some steak here in the middle, some more smoked sausages. Ladies and gentlemen, you build your Kabob the way you want to. But what I did once I got them built, I normally put 5 or 6 pieces of meat and whatever onions or peppers or whatever it is I'm using in between. Try to get them a little colorful. But then after that, I try to space them out just enough so that heat can get to all sides of the Kabobs before we rotate them, because we're going to have to rotate through them every so often. But I put some EVOO on them, and then I put some Mrs. Dash has a Chipotle Southwest. And folks, I'm here to tell you, I talked last time on our show about strawberries barbecue seasoning. And folks, that's some good stuff. I actually put that in my baked beans as well. I forgot to mention that a while ago as well. But ladies and gentlemen, we're about to wind this thing up. We got our peach cobbler here. Oh my word, it's going to be so good. We got the the fire hot and the coals, and we got some baked beans right up in there. And then this baby here, we're going to roll these Kabobs on through. I'm going to close the lid for just a little bit, let them get some warmth all the way through there. But folks, I'm telling you, we're having a great time. And again, this is Memorial Weekend. We're paying tribute to, hold on just a second, I had to walk off camera. Again, sorry for being late. I actually wrote down me some notes so that I don't forget everything, and hopefully we can cover everything that we want to. But we're doing this on Memorial Day weekend, and we just want to salute our people, our troops, and those that served and have served and are continue to serve. And you know, without them, where would this nation be right now? I know we're in tough times right now. It seems like we're battling through, and you know, but it's a good thing that we have these opportunities to do what we do in our backyard. Again, this is Backyard Cooking with Rog E, the second episode called Kabobs and Cowboys. Don't know if and when a third issue will be, but again, if you hadn't been able to watch this live, and maybe somebody come back and watch it later, eventually this episode will be on YouTube. I've got a YouTube channel, Backyard Cooking with Rog E. Our first episode is there also. But I'm just, folks, I'm overwhelmed. Sorry about that. I am overwhelmed with just the results that we are having. And you know, a lot of it's my family and friends, and yeah, I know we have a lot of fun, and they think I'm a true redneck by the stuff that I do and say, and I, you know, I don't have a problem with that necessarily. But hey, DT is joining me. DT, my softball player. How you doing, girl? One of my softball players. I've had several softball girls come through my program since when I was coaching, but this is something that we enjoy doing. Hopefully we're bringing you some information, some tips, some whatever for your cooking when you do yours. We definitely want you to do it the way you want to do it, and we enjoy just having the time to do it and the opportunity. I know we're getting close on time, and I don't want to hold you tied up all day, especially on a Saturday, and but we may not make it to the end of. DT says she misses me. I miss you too, DT. We had some good times back in them days when you were playing, and my softball player there, she was my leadoff batter, quick as lightning. But anyway, thanks for joining me, DT. I know you was on the last time as well. But folks, I just want to come to you a little serious now. I know we've danced and we've had fun and talked about different things, and I've asked you to join in on singing baked beans, and I think I said unbelievable, and what else was peach cobbler, and I don't know what I always said. We played a little music. Hopefully you can hear that. But just seriously, folks, last time that we put this together, we had 114 views. 114 views. And then I was asked by a couple of people that don't have Facebook to see if I would put it on YouTube. And so I did, and I've got some views off of YouTube. Folks, I never, ever thought that I would have 15 or 20 views, but 120 views, 115 views, whatever it is all together, that's amazing. I thank you. I appreciate you joining me each time we put this on. I appreciate you allowing me to come into your space wherever you may be at this point, whether it's your house or somewhere else. I just enjoy coming and doing this, and maybe we can continue to work and do some things that's fun. And then also maybe it will brighten your day. But I know we're running close on time. Hey, Lori, how are you? Hey, Cuz Sandy, thanks for joining. But I don't want to take up all your time. I'm going to finish these up. We don't like much here. But, I don't ever want to do a show, no matter what, we're having fun or however we're doing, without, again, paying our respect. Don't pay attention to my hat hair here. Paying respect to our frontline workers, our doctors and our nurses and our servicemen and women, truck drivers, the restaurant people. Those are the ones that are still fighting every day to move this nation forward and move through this COVID-19. And just like we mentioned in the last time, we're not necessarily in the same boat, but we're in the same waters. Again, your situation may be a little bit different than ours, and we just need to, when we can, take care of those that's been taking care of us for these last 8 or 9 weeks, and support them with our business when we get an opportunity to do that. And there's some that has lost their jobs, some that may not get their jobs back, but they will get through this just like we will, and it'll be a brighter day. Again, I talked at the earlier start of the show how good God is, not only to me and my family, but to a classmate of ours, and he's been battling since day one, and I think we're in day 45 or whatever. He was able to stand on his own for a little bit, talk to his wife, and she's been there with him, and when she could, for the first part, wasn't nobody there but the nurse, and I know they sent cards and letters, and he's on the mend, and we give God the glory for that, and we ask his blessing and continued healing on our classmate Terry. Folks, we're gonna wrap this up. Again, we've had a lot of fun. I thank you for coming in. I want to give you one last quote or a little bit of tidbit here. This is a quote from a cowboy that, it said, never judge a man by the horse that he rides in on or by the hat that he wears. This has been our second episode of Backyard Cooking with Rog E. And I do appreciate your time. And I'm asking you, until we get to meet again, keep the coals hot. Thank you, and have a great day. Have a great and safe weekend as well. All right, folks. Let's dance our way on out of here. Thank you. Have a good day.